Hello and welcome to round 1 of the Laughing Tree tournament with me, Rebecca Gillard, and joined as always by Richard Walker.
Hello.
Hello, Richard. So today then we've got Matt on the left playing Lanni Rains and Pete on the right playing Tyrell Lion. Pete. I like that, Matt and Pete. I feel like they're like, it's like some kind of like sitcom with Matt and Pete.
Matt and Pete, the sitcom.
The sitcom. They're going to go off and have all these like little drunken adventures.
Oh, well, that's not going to happen in this video, I'm afraid.
Probably not in this video.
Almost definitely not in this video. So what tournament is this, Rebecca?
It's the Laughing Tree tournament, which happened just before Worlds in Minnesota.
Minnesota?
Is that right?
Yes.
Yes! Woohoo! For getting it wrong for long enough.
Indeed. So this video was supplied to us by Cameron Davison?
Yeah, he was indeed.
He's a nice lad, that Cameron.
A nice lad.
He's alright, and he's fine. Right. He's good. He's acceptable.
Acceptable,
I approve.
I was waiting for the word acceptable to come out. You seem to like using that word when you're describing people.
Oh,
they're acceptable. Do we know anything about the players?
No.
Oh.
They're American, I think. Actually, because this is pre-World, they might not even be American.
They might not even be American, no.
So they may not be, native to America.
Cool.
If they were born in America, would that make them Native Americans? Even though they're not obviously Native Americans.
What?
Well, like Native Americans are like...
So.
Native Americans are like what the old people call Red Indians.
Right.
But if they're native to America...
But we don't call
wouldn't that make them Native Americans?
Well, we're not native English.
Sure we are. Aren't we?
Are we? Are you talking bullshit again?
So, opening plot, late summer feast on the left and besieged on the right. That was besieged, wasn't it?
It was besieged.
It wasn't calm over Westeros.
It wasn't calm over Westeros. It's blue, but not blue enough.
Nice. So, what faction do we have there, Rebecca?
We've already talked about the factions.
What? Have we?
Well, I have.
No, you haven't.
I did.
Oh, God.
You just weren't listening to me.
So
I'll remind you, darling.
Thank you.
We have Lanni Rains on the left, and then we have Tyrell Lion on the right.
I'm pretty sure you haven't said that.
I have definitely said that.
Excellent. I'm going to rewatch this video afterwards.
For the first time. So what we've got on the board there, we've got
that classic Lannister setup on the left.
Of all the gold.
Yeah. Late summer feast, Tywin and Rhoda gives him 12 gold.
Bloody hell.
Like that's still the strongest.
Tywin Chud Rose Road. I feel like there's like...
That's so 2016.
So Pete on the right then has got a duped Jamie there. Let's see it, the art version. With, is that Green Apple Knight?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It is.
Oh, go me, I got it right. And then location-wise, I think it's a jousting pavilion. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Yeah.
And then an official arbor, and then an unofficial...
Great Hall, maybe?
Possibly a Great Hall, possibly like one of the Lanni or Tyrell reducers. It's a reducer, basically. It's a reducer location that you kneel to reduce the cost.
Well, we can calculate this with gold, can't we?
Oh, God, here we go.
So what did he play? The arbor? So that leaves him with 1 gold. And then he knelt that reducer for Marin Heat. So, what? What? This doesn't make sense. The math doesn't add up.
Did he set up... See, this is why you should just not
I'm
calculate.
sorry, Native Americans, all this sort of thing, it blew my mind.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
You just weren't paying attention.
So, explain.
What, the gold?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember what was on setup.
Well,
sorry.
I thought it was Jamie and the Apple Knight.
Okay.
And the Jousting Pavilion.
Okay.
Then maybe he played Arbor.
I guess he must have done.
Yeah. But then you've got Marin Heat out, which is a 2-cost attachment.
I'm sure the math adds up. Maybe it's a Great Hall and reduce Jamie by 2. Oh no, you said Jamie by... Never mind, this is like not interesting commentary. I'm sure the maths is fine.
Anyway, we've got Mountain on the left.
We do have Mountain on the left. You're distracting from what's going on the board, Richard.
So
bodyguards on the Mountain and on Tywin as well, just important to note.
So Pete on the right is clearly playing a Knight deck. Because he's got Jousting Pavilion, he's got Green Apple Knights, he's got Jamie who's a Knight, and he's got a Marin Heat.
So he's doing a non-kneeling military with Jaime, defending with the mountain, and using Mirror and Heat to try and push him out, but treachery.
Brutal.
So the mountain is going to be able to get that pillage through. We're going to hit anything? Oh, yes we are.
Ouch. That's just the worst tempo hit you could take at this stage in the game, because
especially for any
military is so important at the beginning when characters are few.
Yeah, I mean, like, Pete here's left with just one character. I would be very surprised if that isn't off the board by, the beginning of the challenge of the next phase. Next round, sorry. So, yeah, I mean, there'll be a march to a big military coming through, I think.
Yeah, if you run march, you're going to march, right?
Definitely. Just wanted to apologise for the glitching on the video. I think the file was possibly corrupted that was sent over. But, you have our wonderful commentary to listen to. So a couple of little glitches here and there is fine, right?
Maybe.
It's acceptable? Your favourite word?
It's alright. I know the guy on the right, Pete, has 14 power tokens.
Yeah, I know.
He should have taken 15 out of his bag, but he's only got 14. So, let's hope he doesn't win the game with 14 power. I've seen that happen once or twice.
Yeah.
But at this moment, I think it's quite safe to say Matt's going to win.
It's a bit harsh.
Well, this is the sort of snowball thing that people complained about like a year ago. Some games are snowbally. This is a perfect, example of that.
You say that, but I mean, we've got a marched, but Pete here is playing late summer feast, so he's got 9 gold now plus the armor to get everything
on the
out.
left, he's got 7 gold anyway, plus monster characters on the board with an amazing amount of military strength. If he runs any extra kill, put to the sword, anything like that.
Yeah. Possibly tears. I mean, it's a Rains deck.
Could be. So, yeah. Matt had the advantage. Matt has the dominance. He could just snowball his way to victory and possibly make Pete cry.
Yeah. I think, wait a minute.
What are we waiting for?
Did Matt play Late Summer Feast first turn? He did, didn't he?
He did.
Did Pete draw a card when he lost the military?
No idea.
Don't think he did.
Well...
Or did he?
Maybe. I mean, we can't hear the commentary. We can't hear the player talking. So maybe Matt said to Pete, would you like to draw a card? And Pete's like, nah, mate. Not interested. Don't need cards.
But either way, whichever action he did, if he drew a card, I bet he's regretting it. If he didn't draw the card, I bet he's regretting it. Because he's been left with a board wipe. Although saying that, he's now completely replenished his board. Is this Garland?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's the guy where you can discard a card from hand to increase the claim. And it's not limited, to a phase. It's literally just limited to challenges. So you could do it for each challenge if you wanted to, which is slightly insane. The one next to it, is that the one that you kneel to stand a night?
What?
This one next to Garland.
Oh yeah, it's the courtier.
Courtier. So
Garden courtier. So when a character has their strength increased by a card effect, you can kneel her as a reaction to stand that character.
Seems good.
Yeah, it's a really, really good card. It's inspiring a lot of builds at the moment. Namely, in Greyjoy Rose, where you can increase Balon or anyone with your Iron Fleet Scout and then restand them.
Yeah, that's true.
Seemed good on your big renowned dudes. In Barrow Rose, where you do a challenge with Bob and someone else. Bob increases his strength. You kneel the courtier to stand Bob again. Double Bob is always good.
Double Bob.
And of course, in Tyrell, they've got millions of renown. You can Lord Renly's Ride, your Randall, stand him, get increased strength. You can do it the same to Renly. You can trigger the courtier to stand him. Seems like good fun. Yeah.
Just on the Tyrell board, what's the card furthest away from us?
It's the New Knight of Flowers.
Oh, okay.
It's 4 cost, 3 strength, and when you play an event, you can trigger his reaction and his strength will increase by 2.
Ah. And he's got the Mare and Heat on him, and also the Joust...
The Tourney Lance.
Tourney Lance, that's
So that
it.
gives him +1 strength, and it gives him like the old Knight of Flowers effect, where only one character can be declared as a defender against him.
Okay.
So he's now 4 strength. Only one person can be declared as a defender, and he got the Mare and Heat, which can push someone out of the challenge.
Okay, seems good.
Further, in addition to that, is Garland Tyrell on the board, who can discard a card to increase the claim. So this seemed quite potent.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that Pete's jumped straight back in the game. You know, he's got a nice board out. He's got plenty of claim soak if needed. So, you know, hopefully get a foot back in and make a bit more of a fight.
I don't think he's going to win, but...
So we do have a military coming through here then from the Knight of Flowers. Just wanted to point out the board on the left. We've got
a begging brother.
Yeah, I'm getting there. You were talking. We've got a cello.
I'll just sit in the corner. I'll pipe down.
So we've got a cello out, and we also have begging bros that have been
Begging bro.
that have been bestowed. So you can remove a gold from Begging Brothers to cancel a card effect. Like, is it like bold?
A character ability.
Character ability.
So, for example, Garland, but not any location or attachment abilities like Mare and Heat or, you know, the reducer location.
Yeah. So, Pete there knelt the, was it the courtier, the woman?
Yeah.
Yeah, knelt the courtier and was just saying, can I stand Knight of Flowers? Or do you want to cancel it? And Matt let that go through. But then when he tried to trigger Garland's increased claim, that was cancelled by the Begging Bros. Cello knelt to defend the military challenge, and she was taken as claim. Which seems a bit of a shame, because she's a pretty strong character to be used just as claim soak, but...
She's alright.
I guess, you know, Matt didn't find any chud claim soak, so... Yeah. So we've got the intrigue coming through then from Tywin.
We've got a rain coming through.
We do indeed.
What's he going to do?
What is that? Spider's web.
The spider's web.
Okay.
Which means he will be allowed to initiate another intrigue challenge, and it will be to claim.
It seems a bit pointless because Pete only had one card in hand anyway. And Matt here also forgot to take the renown on Tywin. After
So
winning
what,
the
Pete has
intrigue.
nothing in hand now?
Yeah, Pete's not got anything in hand.
Oh, maybe he wants more unopposed.
Maybe.
So no one's taking renown in the
I know.
in the challenges. What's going on?
Yeah, so Matt did the military of the mountain, which was defended by Knight of Flowers, and forced the mountain back out with the Mare and Heat.
Yeah,
And then
Pete's
as
like, my renown.
Yeah, and then as
Matt, take your renown.
as Matt does the power challenge of the Hound, Pete realises we've got to take the renown, asks if he can take it, which is allowed, and then defends the power challenge with Garland. And then...
Now they remember Late Summer Feast.
Yeah.
Crikey.
So there's a few missed reactions there, a few missed renowns, a couple of little... Well, a take back. So a little bit sloppy at the end of the round there.
Sort it out,
But,
lads.
yeah, sort it out, lads. Else Richard will get you.
I wouldn't dare. They're obviously Native American. They'll get me.
What the hell are you on about? You know what? In the next video, we're going to have to refer to everyone as like native English, like if we've got English videos.
It's unlikely. I mean, there was only, 2 or 3 English people that went to Worlds?
Not even sure we've gotten the videos. I didn't properly check.
Well done. I wonder what videos we have, whether they're interesting games also.
I think...
Irrelevant to speculate while we're commentating, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely pointless. But then again, nothing's actually happening right now, so it's not too bad.
That is true.
That is true.
So it's 4-2. Matt's beating Pete. Ooh, Valar Morghulis.
Okay. So, an intercounting cobble as well, which is going to be annoying. But luckily, Arbor exists. So it's still going to have a nice amount of gold to replenish the board.
The thing is, Lanni guy also has an arbor with Tywin on the road though.
Yeah, so they're both going to get a decent amount of gold. And I think being left with Tywin and the mountain is a pretty solid board state.
Well, it could only be temporary. If Tyrell Lion player has Valar next round, he will come out with 5 gold and 2 reducers.
Yeah.
And Mountain and Tywin will be dead.
Yeah, that could
so
very well
that's
happen.
nice.
And we've got the Arbor Knight there with the Tourney Lance, and I'm going to guess Meryn Heat's coming out on it.
I'm sensing a trend.
Reducer there coming out and kneeling, and paying 1 for the Meryn Heat.
These positive attachments are really doing work.
Yeah, he's been on like 3 different characters now.
And yet people say they're so bad.
Well, to be fair, you know, Pete is losing 4-0 at the moment.
But it doesn't mean the attachments are bad. But
no.
But I think the value of positive attachments on your characters will increase now that Valar Dohaeris is imminently due.
Yeah.
Because increasing the value of the characters you have on the board that, you know, that aren't 7 cost will be good.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not going to want a lot of bigs on the board. I mean, you know, look at the Lanni player's side. He's going to be losing one of those.
Well, Lanni wouldn't really care that much. I mean, you keep Tywin in the Hound, you shove the Mountain on the bottom of your deck, and then you play Never Bet Against My Family, and then, oh, hi!
Yeah, that's very true, actually, and seems slightly unfair. So, the military came through from the Arbor Knight, which was let through unopposed. The dupe of the Hound was taken as claim. Now, an intrigue is coming back from the other side with Tywin, which was 1, triggering Rains. So, Varys' riddle was used to copy the Counting Coppers. Taking claim of the other Arbor Knight from Pete's hand, and then remembering the renown this time, so that's always good. And then we have the military coming through from the Mountain.
I really like the sequencing of the play from Matt on the left-hand side.
You're getting them all in order, isn't he?
Well, it's about from the last round to this round, where he triggered Rain into Spider's Web, clearing out Pete's hand, knowing that's probably going to make Pete play something like Counting Coppers, and then Valaring that Counting Coppers while he has not a lot of gold to actually, you know, put things on the board.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if he doesn't clear out his hand before, then Pete could play out some sort of economy plot and have plenty of gold and recover from any Valar a lot easier. So that worked out okay.
Yeah.
I like to think that Matt on the left-hand side there work that strategy.
I also quite like how Matt didn't do the power challenge with the Hound because that would have meant that the Hound went back to hand, and he was probably worried about there being a march to the wall when he had Tywin and the Mountain on the board.
There is a downside to this.
The downside being that instead Pete has played Valar, which has killed the Hound rather than him being, you know, marched.
Yep.
But the Mountain is also dead, which will be lovely for Pete, because the Mountain on the board just, you know, chopping off heads here, there and everywhere whenever they can is a pain in the butt.
So this is interesting now. We've got 5 gold or 5, you know, resources on the left-hand side with Tywin out. And on the right-hand side, also 5 gold plus reducers, but 0 claim. Now, the Lanni Rains guy on the left-hand side, Matt, he managed to Rains out of his 0 claim to then get claim on all of his challenges. It's just something that the Tyrell Lion player will not be able to do. So this is the downside of not being able to play Rain, not being able to get out of that 0 claim.
Yeah.
So he's not going to be able to put any pressure on Matt's board. And he's going to suffer for that, because Matt's going to put military through on Pete's board and pressure him that way.
Yeah, I think Pete's in a bit of a tough place here. You know, he's managed to wipe his own board.
Pete probably really pissed off. He's like, I've come to play at night at the Laughing Tree. I'm playing my Knight's deck for a bit of fun, and I get Tywin, Chud, Rosewood set up against me round 1. Like,
and then the Mountain.
He's not laughing at the Laughing Tree tournament, I guarantee that.
But he does have a really nice play mat. So
it is quite nice, isn't it?
Yeah, so he's probably quite happy with himself for that.
He thinks he's winning in life because he got a knife playmat.
Yeah.
I better get me a knife playmat.
You've got lots of nice playmats already.
I do, I guess.
There you
Speaking
go.
of knife playmat, I've been thinking about, giving one of the regional Rise of the Kraken playmats away.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I've got a spare one. Maybe we should give it to one of the viewers.
Give it to one of the viewers. That's an exciting proposition.
Not really.
And what do they need to do to get one of these playmats, Richard?
I don't know. I'll think about it over the rest of these videos.
It's like, tease the viewers with this promise of a playmat, and then it's like, yeah, but I'll tell you about it later.
Yeah, well, it's an incentive to watch the video, maybe. We'll do a small competition. I'll ask you a question at the end of it, and the answer will be hidden somewhere in these videos.
All right, okay.
So if they're dedicated to wanting a mat,
They'll have to watch the videos.
I mean, we're gonna.
I feel like you're sort of like tricking them into watching the videos.
Not really.
I mean, we don't watch our videos.
Well,
Unless
there's
they're
only
really
so much of
forced.
your laughing I can take.
Hey, that's a bit harsh.
I'm joking.
Nothing wrong on this commentary thing. We've just missed an entire round's worth.
Well, it was just Lanni doing Lanni things and, Pete just trying to defend. Because he's got 0 claims, no point in attacking.
True. Nothing burns like the cold.
There really is a nice bit of glitching there whenever they do the plots. It's like they suddenly go turbo speed for half a second.
So, nothing burns like the cold then. So each player must discard an attachment and non-limited location if able. So Matt there only actually had limited locations, which is quite handy for him. But I think he did have, I think it was a bodyguard on Tywin. So he unfortunately lost that. But it's probably not going to be a Valar coming through because they've just both played their
There
Valar.
will definitely not be a Valar coming through for at least another couple of
Yeah, exactly. So, and on the right hand side we've got trade routes. So just there's like 5 locations, 6 locations on the board.
6 locations, yes.
So gets you a decent amount of gold.
It's alright. Lannister. I mean, this seems like a bit Lanni good stuff. They don't tend to have that many locations. They might run Casterly Rock. Some build run Harrenhal and Tower of the Hand. But this one doesn't seem to be.
Doesn't seem to need it, does it?
Well, not in this game. Not when you set up Tywin Chud Rose.
Matt there just marshalling a Duke Tyrion and also Meister Pycelle.
Yep.
Maester
For me.
Got Nightmares there in Pete's hand. I wonder if he'll be using that later.
He's not going to need it.
No? He might slow down the renown on Tywin.
Oh wait, Pete's on the right hand side.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's gonna need it. It's not gonna help him. Because it's over.
What's this dude on the Tywin, on the Tyrell board? Is that Will, did you say his name was?
Willis Tyrell. Yeah, you kneel him and he gives buff to your other Tyrell characters, Garland, the Knight of Flowers, and Marjorie Tyrell.
Okay.
Which is completely irrelevant right now because he doesn't have much of a board and he doesn't have the other characters on the board.
Okay.
So he just...
But you can see the
gold.
synergy there for later kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't particularly like him as a card.
No?
Not really. I mean, you're paying 4 gold to what? To kneel the card and give maybe renown to one character or... I mean, it's alright, but
Yeah.
it doesn't excite me. It's not something I want to build around.
That's fair enough. Just a quick look on the board state. So we had an entry coming through.
I've not won yet.
Not quite.
Okay.
We had an entry come through from...
Pete conceded.
Shush! From Tyrion and Pycelle.
How about now?
Stealthing past Willis, which went through unopposed. Reigns triggered using filthy accusations to kneel. Colon. The military coming through and killing Colon as claim. And the power coming through, opposing with Willis. So it's just the power claim there. So it's now 12-0. With like a minute left. So I think it's safe to say that we're going to have a win come through any moment. And some really funky glitching there as well, which was quite enjoyable.
Wonderful glitching.
Oh! Yeah, that is still mountain.
Hiya!
Hey, I wonder why I didn't do it last turn. Because he didn't feel like he needed it.
Pete's still playing on. He's like, I'm not having any of the conceding. He's like, screw that. I'm going to play through it. Sadly, it's another blowout video.
No, there we go.
Pete concedes. There we are.
So Pete concedes. Matt takes the win there. Yeah, congratulations to Matt, I guess.
You guess.
I guess.
Congratulations to the Tywin Chud Rose setup. You did well. You did a lot of work.
So thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you for round 2 soon. Bye then.
Goodbye.